if k is a positive integer, find the radius of convergence of this power series. እዚህ አምስተኛው ጥያቄ ውስጥ k positive integer ቢሆን የዚህ power series radius of convergence ምን ይሆናል ነው የሚለው። so ratio test ተጠቅመን radius of convergence ሆነ እንፈልጋለን። so let the nth term in this power series, the nth term is n factorial the power of k over kn factorial times x the power of n, no? So the next term becomes, the n plus 1's term becomes n plus 1 factorial the power of k over k times n plus 1 factorial times x the power of n plus 1 ነው የሚሆነው ማለት ነው። so ratio test እንጠቀማለን እዚህ ጋር። so using ratio test the limit of the n plus 1's term over the n's term as n approaches to infinity ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው? this is the same as the limit of in the absolute value n plus 1 factorial the power of k over k times n plus 1 factorial times x the power of n plus 1 times k times n factorial over n factorial the power of k times x the power of n ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so this is as n approaches to infinity. okay so እዚህ ጋር ሌላው የምናደርገው ነገር ቢኖር what is n plus 1 factorial the power of k የሚለውን ነገር ማወቅ ያስፈልጋል። so this is the same as n plus 1 the power of k times n factorial the power of k ነው የሚሆነው። the other adjustment እዚህ ጋር የምንሰራው ምንድነው? k times n plus 1 the whole factorial ማለት ይሄ ደግሞ k times n plus 1 times kn factorial ነው ማለት ነው። so ይሄንን rearrangement መስራት ያስፈልገናል። we can further simplify these factorials in this form. so ይሄንን እዚህ ሊሚት ውስጥ እናመጣዋለን። so this limit becomes the limit of in the absolute value n plus 1 the power of k times n factorial the power of k over k times n plus 1 times kn factorial x the power of n plus 1 times kn factorial over n factorial the power of k times x the power of n ይሆናል ማለት ነው as n approaches to infinity. so የሚጣፉትን ነገር እዚህ ጋር በደንብ በማየት እናጠፋፋለን። so this limit becomes the limit in the absolute value x over k times n plus 1 the power of k over n plus 1 as n approaches to infinity ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so እዚህ ጋር ለምትሉት ነገር ምንድነው? this is absolute value of x over k times the limit of n plus 1 the power of k over n plus 1 as n approaches to infinity ይሆናል ማለት ነው። so ጥያቄ ውስጥ k positive integer ቢሆን ስለሚል we can see these things in two different ways. ሁለት ኬዞች እናያለን። the first case, if k is exactly 1 ይሄ ሊሚት ምን ይሆናል? okay if k is exactly 1 the limit of the ratio of n plus 1's term over the n's term as n approaches to infinity ወይንም ይሄ term ምን ይሆናል ማለት ነው? absolute value of x ይሆናል ማለት ነው። it will be simplified to absolute value of x. so the given power series converges whenever it is less than 1. so this implies the radius of convergence for this power series is 1 ማለት ነው። okay the second case k positive integer ነው ስለሚል the second case can be if k is any number greater than 1. now the limit of the n plus 1's term over the n's term as n approaches to infinity ይሄ ምንድነው የሚሆነው? ኢንፋናይት ነው የሚሆነው። okay k k ከአንድ የሚበልጥ ከሆነ ይሄ ሊሚት ኢንፋይናይት ይሆናል ማለት ነው in this case the radius of convergence is 0 okay so ሁለቱ ናቸው ያሉን ኦፕሽኖች ማለት ነው therefore the radius of convergence for this power series is 1 or 0